Alright guys, what is up? This is Shatner's Prodigy in our first edition of Why Don't You Run This? Also, considering why do you run this? So, the card we're going to talk about today is Fabled Kushano. Now, this is a card I've seen a lot of players swear by, and they won't play their deck without it. And I can't for the life of me understand why. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is it's a level 3, and it's a tuner, so that opens up a lot of possibility for, Trishula and Cross using Reagan using Nezuchi. And it gets an effect whenever it's in the graveyard that's really potent, which is to discard a Fabled monster from your hand and add it back to the graveyard. Now that's great if you want to trigger something from your hand, like maybe you draw a Cross and like an Upstart Goblin off of Reagan and you want to trigger that Cross, but you just have no way to. Well, Kushano will let you trigger the Cross. So what could my beef with this card possibly be? Well, my beef is that it's just a worse Reagan. Now what do I mean by that? Well, Kushano is ultimately dead in your hand. And when you play a card to be good in the mid game, it's going to be dead in the early game. And Raven really, kind of ameliorates that situation. Now what Raven does is it essentially does the same thing. It's a level 3 tuner that gets one card out of your hand, but Raven has the possibility of being a level 4 tuner that gets 2 things out of your hand and ad infinitum. It can be brought out by the same means, normal summoning, specialing from the graveyard with Cross, but it also has one additional benefit insofar as it can be special summoned by Nezuchi. And that's my main reason for playing Raven over Kushano, which is the Nezuchi plays. Because if you special summon Raven off of Nezuchi, and discard one card for Raven, you've essentially done the same thing that you would have if you would have had, a Nezuchi and some card in hand with a Kushano in graveyard, except you don't need to use your normal summon on the Kushano. I hope that makes sense. I understand that Kushano is a great card late game, and it can really help mend dead draws. And it does have an effect in graveyard, which not a lot of Fabled cards have. But I'm not playing for the late game, I'm playing for the combo. And Fabled Raven will help you in that combo 9 times out of 10. Now as you can see, I do have a physical copy of Kushano, so I was playing it at one point. I did playtest it extensively, and I just never could get the feel of it. The deck just doesn't run enough discard outlets to warrant running Fabled Kushano, and it just doesn't belong in this deck in my opinion. Now, if you're not playing a first turn Quasar deck, if you're not gonna play a deck that aims for speed over all else, then sure, run Kushano. It's great. It can help you make great synchro pushes turn 2, 3, 4, and it will keep on giving. But for a deck that's centered mostly around the first turn and mostly around just emptying your hand, summoning Reagan, emptying your hand, summoning Reagan ad infinitum, then Raven is just a little bit better than Kushano because of that Nezuchi interaction. Well, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Why Aren't You Playing That? And I hope I cleared it up a little bit on why I'm not running the Fabled Kushano. This has been Shatner's Prodigy, signing out.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry.